Hello, hello, hello. Anybody there? Hello, hello, hello. I'm a bit late, but I'm here. I'm finishing posting. Wait. I'm finishing to post on Twitter. Did I post it twice? Oh no. No. I posted once. Yes. Yes. Ah. Okay, I just need to put it on our calendar. And we are ready. And we are ready. And boom. No. Where is my face? Oh my god. There is no face. Ah. Oh. Something happened. Something happened, boys. Transform, reset, transform. Ah, I'm there. Look at that. I'm in the sky. I'm in the sky. I'm in the sky. Okay, so in this view, my face should be big. Hello, guys. Boys and girls. Plane shifters of the world. How are you? Did you miss me? Yesterday I was not here, eh? So you missed me, I guess. Hello, Hula. Hello, Claire. Hello, Marcelo. I think, Claire, you are the new Patreon. Thank you for that. Thank you for supporting the game and showing that you like the game. And yeah. So today we're gonna work on still on combat and attacks, because we left the combat and attacks in a situation that was not completely usable, or anyway completely done. So I want to clean it up anyway, to make it a bit more usable. We have a picture of the day. The light on this guy is not too good, but I like the picture anyway. It is the old engine and the old game. Now in the new game, the light should be better. I think it will. Okay. So let's go in the normal scene. Okay, normal scene. My face disappeared as well. I don't know, sometimes things go crazy. Okay. Yes, in normal view, my face should be as small as this. And by the way, if you're new to the stream, yes, the webcam is tracking my movements. So if I move my head like this, left and right, you'll see that the character is moving the head left and right as well. So he's like that. Hello, Tony. Did you miss me? Yesterday I was not here, huh? I know you miss me. I said, where is that tiger guy? Where did the tiger guy go? I know. I had to reboot my PC, and so basically I need to restart every application. So what do we need? Well, we need Visual Studio for sure. We need dbeaver that we use very often, which is the database side, and then we need maybe to just launch the game 1 second to see where we are. And then we need our paint. I just restarted the PC, so everything is still to be loaded, because there was an update and I said, well, let's do it. Usually I tend to do update for ages. I mean, I don't do them for like 1 month without restarting the PC, but okay, the last discussion that we had was about rules and settings. Yes, this one. And it was about weapons. This one. Okay, so we have a bit of a so just to summarize, okay, we are working on improving. Your device will restart to update. No, it just updated, man. Don't update again. So we are trying to improve the rules, the settings, and also usability of combat. So we worked a bit on the character creation, and we worked a bit on the talents. Okay, so the talents in the new game are abilities that you gain when you level up a specific skill. So for example, you level up the sword skill, and when you reach, I don't know, level 50, rank 50 in sword, you gain a new talent, and the talent can be a special move, a special attack, or something like that, right? And it is something that we were already thinking since a long time, but we never did it. Now we did it, so it's kind of working. So if we go in the game, just to summarize where we are, if we go in the game, I need to start the database, because also the database start DB client and server. You did wonder, eh? You did wonder. Yeah, I had some real life stuff to do, and I was a bit late with other stuff. I had to do a few phone calls, and I don't know, I was in a delay for a bunch of stuff, and I couldn't stream. Okay, so we are starting the server and we are starting the client to just see where we are. And it will take a bit to start. Meanwhile, so we in these pictures, okay, we explained how the old way works, which is this one, how the old way works and how the new way works, right? And basically the old way was just an auto attack, continuous auto attack, one after the other, and then from the shortcut bar you could click and put in the queue one of the special attacks. Now in the new way we decided that we want combat to be more interactive, so you are going to click to attack and click to perform a special ability, and all of these are immediate actions. There is obviously a cooldown, which should be visible on screen, which is the speed factor of your weapon. And then when the cooldown is finished, you can attack again, right? Now, in this new system, you cannot just queue a special attack, because there is no queue anymore, right? And another problem of the new system, another difference of the new system is that we have the talent, we have the combat mode, okay? So the way you interact with the game, we have the combat mode as a specific mode when you play that you trigger with the tab key. So when you press tab, you enter in this mode where you can see the your mouse is basically where you are looking at, and if you mouse over any creature, the name of the creature appears at the top with this health bar, right? You can still zoom in and out, that's not a problem, but basically whatever you are targeting is going, you're going to see the health bar. And if you want to attack, you just need to left click, in theory you should just left click and attack, right? Now the special attacks that are here, and you can see in the shortcut bar, right, like here, these special attacks, in theory you can just click on them, but when you are in combat mode you don't have access to the UI, so you are in pure combat mode, right? So you are fighting, so you are casting spells, etc. So the way to do it is to assign keys to this special attack. So for example, this special attack has a key binding on 1, and this special attack is a key binding on 3. Now if you want it on a letter like Q or E or R, obviously you can do it as well, and you can manage all the key bindings here, right? Yes, so you see that you have all the shortcuts here, and so this is the current mapping. Now it's still not perfect, but anyway, you can manage the key bindings, or you can manage it directly from here. So for example, you said that the first one is 1 and this one is 3. So if I go here and I try to press the number 1, or the number, I already see a few issues. So the few issues are that when I press a key, okay, we have few issues here, because as soon as I press any key, you see that the chat is getting, you see the focus on the chat on the top, on the bottom right. So the chat is getting focused, and now I'm basically typing. I'm basically typing here. So this should really not happen. At least it should not happen when you are in combat mode. So when you are in combat mode, okay, so I think this is the first change we need to do, because otherwise and the other problem is that you cannot easily fuck, you cannot easily exit from there. Okay, so this is the first thing we want to fix, because as it is now, doesn't work, right? So we need to find where in the code this is done in the blueprint, most likely inside the player controller under keys and mouse, and we need to change the way we are interacting with the chat, because as it is now is definitely not working. Definitely. I have a friend request from Little Ketchup. Who is Little Ketchup? Okay, so we go in blueprints. For the one of you that never seen it, it is Unreal Engine. Is the editor of Unreal Engine, which is the engine in which we are building the game. And we go, I think will be or player controller or PS character. I think it's on PS character. Huh? I think it's on PS character. And yes, mouse and keyboard. Okay, so somewhere here we have, I think we have something like on key down. key. Check input. Toggle input. I don't know if we have it here or we have it. There should be a key pressed. Maybe easier. No? Is the win chat which is automatically getting focused? Because that should never happen in combat mode. I think it's okay, but I think it's not okay anyway. I think you should press on. I think we said that you press enter, right? If you press enter, you focus the chat. That was the idea. Now it seems to happen. Now, but boys, it must be. It must be here. Get win chat, receive system message, receive message on client. Okay, this one is when we receive a chat message, and so is definitely not here. So let me try. Receive message on client. Let me put a bit of music maybe in the background. How are you, boys? Any one of you has been vaccinated for COVID? Because in Italy we are still pretty behind. Quite behind in vaccinations. So at the moment it's a very small percent, like 4 or 5%. Input focus chat. Input action escape. I don't understand exactly what is this input focus chat. Let me see in the project settings, because we have an input parameter and input focus chat. Yes, you see, focus chat is the enter key. Right? It's kind of weird that when you press 1, maybe because it's the result of the message that we receive. That is also possible. So that when we are receiving a message, because actually when we press the key, the server is sending us a message, right? And I don't know if this is causing the chat to get in focus. Might not be very easy to find it inside of this, but scroll to end. No, but in theory, let me try again because I want to understand it better. I don't know if it happens only when you press 1, or if it happens for any key. I need to check it. We are behind here. Wow. Okay, so it's not just an Italian problem. It's not just an Italian problem. Here in Italy, you need to have, you need to be 80 years old or more, and then you have a priority. Because in theory you are more at risk, and you know, there is the risk to So if you are older, you can, but everyone else basically no. Okay, so let me see if I press a key like J. But J is opening this. But you see that J is actually not focusing the chat. If I press L, also nothing happens. If I press the enter key, by the way, the enter key that should work, it doesn't. And now it did it. Yeah, it did it, but the second time. The first time I press it, nothing happens. The second time I press it is focusing the chat. So why then number one? Number one is focusing the chat. That's so weird. Okay. There is a spell, and the spell is not focusing the chat. So it really seems that, I don't know if it's number one just for number one or what. Let me change defensive wind, or yeah, this one is mapped to to H. Let me map it. Let me map it to let me map it to 1. So now we have this spell, which is mapped to number 1. It doesn't. So it doesn't focus the chat. Let me see if I'm in combat mode. No. He's not focusing the chat anyway. Yeah, the monster cannot see me because I'm invisible for him at the moment, so he cannot do anything. So he's only, basically are only the attacks. Yes, you see? Are only the attacks that are focusing the chat for some reason. That's very, very, very strange. Wow. That's super strange. It's like if it's a reply or something. Because if I say hi... this is very strange, boys. These attacks are focusing the chat. You don't have a target in front of you. Now, you don't have a target in front of you. Is coming from... it's coming from handle attack, I think. But also there is another problem here. Here it is. You don't have a target in front of you. So actually this one is just sending a message info to the client. Right? Is there anything special in this command? It's just doing slash attack lunge, so it's doing nothing else. Right? So it should be in theory exactly the same. It is very weird. Message info. So let me try to, for example, if I decide to dig, you don't see a good place to dig. Okay, let me change this one to slash dig, right? Ah, it happens anyway. So it seems to be the info that is focusing the chat. So because also for dig it does it. So it seems to be that when we are receiving a message, that is not be very easy to find, but when we are receiving a message of type I think it's server info. It should be server info. Chat message receiver. No, it should be system info. Or system. I think it's system. Add child. Okay. Set color and opacity. Okay. Check if you exceeded the chat maximum length in case remove the oldest message. We are printing something here. I don't know what is it, but we are printing VBox message main, and then we go here, we remove a child, and then we call, I don't know if this scroll to end is the one that is doing the mess, because it's the only action actually which is doing all this, like setting color and opacity. If it's a tell, then store the sender quick reply. This should not happen. Receive message win chat. Receive message on client. Receive message win chat. You don't see a good place to dig. Yeah, but definitely. Oh, by the way. Fuck, I cannot scroll up anymore. I know why. Are the commands calling the window? I don't know why, but this seems to be something. Okay, let me do this. It's a bit brutal, but let me do this. Let's disconnect for a second. Let's disconnect for a second this. So this means that we will not receive any more. Wait. Are the commands calling the window? Yes, yeah. I think that yes. Probably is not the receive of the message, but probably is when we execute the. No, because when we execute, like when we cast a spell, it doesn't happen, right? When we cast a spell, it doesn't happen for some reason. Okay, so let's disconnect this and try again 1 second, because I want to exclude the fact that is the receive system message in the chat window. I don't think it should automatically focus. I think it should focus only... No. No, but this is something that we need to discover, because it's super annoying. You press a key and it goes into the chat. Okay, so now when I press dig... Oh, fuck. We don't receive the message, but still we get the chat focused, you see? Even if we don't receive the message. Okay, so it's before that. is before this call. So this call, I think we can leave it. It's not a problem. But this one... This one is here. Receive message. Draw message. Draw, maybe it's this one. Draw message. Draw message. Create a system. Set text. Set color. Add child and set alignment. No, this one should not be. Set system call. Receive message. Receive system message on PC. Receive system message on PC. Show window. No, this one are only... Wait, this one are only... Receive message starts in character BP. Okay. That is a good tip. Receive system message. I mean, I can disconnect this and try. So this basically is disconnecting completely the receive of the message. So this one is called by the C++. So if this one, so if after this change is still triggering it, it means that it's not related to the receiving of the message. I mean, it could be the command, the execution of the command, but it's kind of strange. Oh, our source control is not up. No, it is. We are depending on the source control. We cannot work without. Why my PC needs to update again? Why? Windows update needs to update another time. Cumulative update for Windows 10. I just did it, boys. I just did it. Okay. Maybe it's because it's a long time I don't do it and there was one depending on the other. Okay, so now we click on this thing. No, we click on dig. Wow. And then I think it's the macro editor. I think it's this thing. I think it's the shortcut bar that is doing this thing. No, because we said that for the summon missile is not happening. No, now it's happening also for the summon missile. No, I don't understand then. Ah, it's happening also for this. It actually happened also for this. Okay, so anything in the shortcut bar is triggering that. Probably because the shortcut bar is doing nothing else than sending a message from the chat. Possible. Let me reconnect this. So it's not the receive message. So let's go and check the shortcut. But in theory, the shortcut should really not do that. Should really not do this. Win shortcut. Win shortcut. So when you click on one, yeah, the problem now is finding where the hell is this, because this is fairly complex, but here it is. Macro button click event. I think that is the click event. Ah no, macro button. Macro button. Update edit panel. Yeah, but this is when we are in edit mode. In edit mode. Bada bam 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 bam. Bada bam bam bam. Bada bam 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 bam. Okay. So if we are in edit mode, we go this way. If we are not in edit mode, we go this way. If there is something already executing, we do nothing. Set up execute macro. No, this is obviously not the problem. And here is execute macro. Let me see what this execute macro is doing. Execute macro. Total lines, blah, blah, blah. Starts with delay. Text commit event. Method on enter. So it seems that it's simulating the enter key. No? Text commit event. But why? Let me just check what this thing is doing. Submit a message. Yes, because he's doing it. He's doing it exactly in the same way that we do it when we press enter on the keyboard. Set keyboard focus. It is. Is this one? Is this one? Now the problem is that when we are coming from the shortcut key, we should not do it. But I don't understand too much. What is the point? What is the point of doing this? I mean, if I don't do it, right? If I just don't do it, always, what is the drawback? If I never do it. Hello, Rwanda. Good evening. We are working on combat and attacks. And we are trying to understand. Okay, let me see if now, I think now is not gonna show the problem, right? Exactly. So it's not focusing the chat, you see? The problem is, what happens if /dig It's just that it's not refocusing the chat after I... Okay. I don't understand exactly why, but there is probably a reason. So this one is made, you know, this one is made that it focus again the chat after, maybe because he has to clear it. This clear the input box. But, you know, set input game mode. In widget to focus. What the? What is this thing? This thing is kind of weird, huh? So there is a mode here. If we use default on user move focused on cleared, there we go here. I don't know exactly when this happens, but this is not our case. Our case is on enter, right? And on enter, is handling the command, and then, but anyway, let's say that it's not too hard for us because we can just pass a parameter to this, right? I hope that we can pass a parameter on this one to say if this text commit is coming from the macro button or from any other button, and so in that case we are not going to clear it, right? I think we can do that. Or I can just call it refocus chat, right? And we can just say that when this one is when this one is true, we do this, otherwise we don't. Okay. Okay. So now we need to call that only when we are going through. We need to call this. We need to call this text commit event. So we need to see all the calls of text commit event. Exactly. So one is here, and this one, in this case, it should be true, because this is really the key down on the win chat. So in this case, yes, we should do it. But then we should have another case where we are calling the text commit event, or multiple, I don't know. There is only one from win shortcut, you know, and in this one we will say that is, in this case, is off. So I think this should do it already. This should already do the trick. Because that was a bit annoying. There is no need. There is really no need. Let me eat some almonds. Almonds. I love almonds. 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 In Italian is mandorla. Mandorla. Do you want to learn Italian with me? We can do one word a day. Okay. So now, if I say /dig, yes, is refocusing. So if I say hi, how are you? It's focusing the chat over and over. And obviously you need it because when you are typing, you want the chat to be... While if I click here... Nice. Okay, I think it's working. So if I'm in combat mode, and I press 1... Exactly. I don't get the annoying thingy. Okay, that is very good. That is very good. So it's a good fix. So let me try to reassign attack launch. This is number 3, eh? So if I press this one, nothing happens. Okay, this is kind of interesting. No, not this. The attack queue is currently full. Wow. Okay, we need to debug that, but this is exactly what we need to find now. Mandorla, yes. Amande. Amande in French, no? Amande. Amande. Okay, so what we want to do... So that is a good fix. Okay. I think I want to launch the server in debug mode and see. So handle queue attack, handle attack. So it looks like we are adding the attack to the queue. But then we are never executing it. Wait a second, because I did some changes on the fly the other day. Remember that we did some change. Let me see if this thing is compiled, by the way. Free now. Add 3 games to your collection. Okay. Wow, can fall at the Pillars of Art. I didn't know there was a game on it. Did you read this book? This book is insane. I really liked it. I really like this book. There are 3 free games. Okay. I think we can get the 3 free games. Deponia, the complete journey. You can get it as well if you want. And the Pillars of Art. What is the... Which kind of game is it? Which game is this? No, I understand the intro. Intro is very nice, but Intro, very nice. Intro, nice, but apart from the intro, okay, very nice picture. It's kind of an adventure game. Oh, this one I want to play it. I think it's a kind of an adventure game. Probably. I remember the lady. Okay. They did also the TV series. I don't know, I only read the book. The book is beautiful. I think I should read it again. And the last one is what? The first three. The first three. Some games are bad anyway. I mean, of these 3 games, some are really, really bad. But some are okay. This one is not loading. It's a third-person exploration world. Okay. Fine. Okay, we did this, which is always nice. And then what? Yeah, I think we need to launch the server in debug mode, understand exactly what is going on through this. But you see that you had to compile it. I think you had to compile it. So I think we were with some... okay, because here... I think I need to do something different. I think if we are not in combat mode and the person asked to issue an attack, I think we should enter combat mode. Because during attack... reset swings. What is this reset swings? This thing I don't know exactly what it's doing, boys. It's resetting the event ID on a specific weapon. But I think I have a problem here. I don't know when we force the character to go in combat mode. I don't know if we... because here is the mess of the old system versus new system. So this is why it's a bit harder to find, but... Combat manager attack someone. Started attacking equal to throw. Set combat. Here is where we do the start of the combat, and so the start of the combat mode. Here it is. Set mode combat. Okay. But I think this is fine, huh? This is fine. I think this is fine. So why? Okay, I think I understand. I understand. You know what? It's the same test I did yesterday or whatever it was, and then I had to revert it because it was not working. But the idea is to remove this piece and to just say to just say go and attack. Okay, let me try like this, huh? I want to see what, but I need to start it in debug mode because it was not working when I tried the other day, but then I finished the time and so I had to go, and yeah. So let's start it in debug and let's start the client normally, and we're gonna find out, my boys. Bye bye, Rwanda. See you. Okay. So what I want to do, I just want to click on side slash and see what happens. It didn't tell me anything. He didn't tell me anything. Actually, it's going inside attack. Let me check if for any reason maybe we are... Yeah, we're going inside attack someone. We are going inside set combat. We are using the right hand. So up to here everything is perfect. Can item attack? Yes. So we get a weapon, and the weapon is probably the sabre that I have in my hand. It's a broadsword, yes, it's a broadsword. So here we are getting the first attack in the attack queue, right? And now here we are checking if the attack is not valid or the attack cannot attack for whatever reason, which is not the case. So we check the requirement of the weapon, and all the requirements are fulfilled. So up to here we are good, eh? Up to here we are good. So then I go in attack. But everything seems to be correct. I don't understand what is going on. Everything seems to be perfect. Here it is. Here it is, the error. Trying to add the UPS combat attack event game with a time 0 will never work. Attacker. Okay, there is a bit of an issue here with the attack delay. The delay is actually 0. Why the delay is 0? So the attacker is me. The attack type is 5. Maybe this dummy attack has 0. Maybe this dummy attack has 0 time, 0 speed factor. I mean, it should not have, but side slash delay is attack weapon latency multiplied by attacker speed mod by 1000. So it's this thing. The problem is that if any of those two parameters are 0, this thing will go to 0. But yes, we have a problem in the speed factor. We have a problem in the speed factor. Let me see the attack delay of the weapon. The weapon is the broadsword, yes. So in theory that should be okay. Attack delay. Attack delay. Attack delay, evaluate environment. Round. I don't know if it's the round that is fucking us up, but for some reason we reach 0. Because attack delay is valid. But you see the resulting delay is 0. So it means that this is a script. It means that this script is not working as it should. Create expression, delay, attack delay, row string delay. Yes, in theory is exactly this. So he's reading this code. Attack weapon latency. It's not very easy to debug because I mean, we can try, but it's not very easy to debug because it's inside a script. It's inside this script, so it's not very easy to know what the hell is going to do, but we can try. There are 3 variables: attacker weapon, sorry, attack weapon and attacker, right? Which are these 2 variables, attacker and attack weapon, plus environment. So these 2 variables are okay. So retrieves the value of all the required variables. Values. And the problem is that the value is none. Why the value is none? Why the value? There seems to be a problem with or maybe it's just that we cannot visualize it in Visual Studio. That's possible. I mean, we cannot. I mean, there is just hexadecimal value because these are pointers to memory. Let me see what happens here. Attack weapon. I don't know, it's a bit hard to debug. It seems there is always I mean, I have my variable in the parent, right? In the parent I have the Stonebreaker character, the Trapper character, so the attacker, the victim, and I also have the weapon. So in the parent actually I have all 3 variables and they seems to be correct, right? Because here I see UID 2029 and probably if I scroll down I also see Broadsword. Yes, Broadsword. So actually in the parent of this I have the values. But I don't have them. Ah, but for example here he got it, you see? He got a Stone B character. But I don't know. The point is that the delay is still 0. Ha! Hey, this is not an easy one, huh? This is not an easy one to debug. Because I don't understand if this lookup is actually doing something or not. In theory, this var why is showing me this value as none? It's like it's saying I cannot find attack weapon in the environment, right? It's like if he's saying that, but actually is there, because we just passed it. We passed it here. Attacker weapon is actually a valid object. There's this one, it's called weapon. You see, it has all the variables possible. So it seems that this lookup is not returning a value that we can visualize, or is really not working. Environment lookup, you see, is just doing a lookup to find if there is a variable name called attack weapon, and it's going inside variables. Inside variables we have 10 of them, and attack weapon is here, is the 7th. So this should actually return a valid value. I don't understand why I always see it as value none and I see it as parent. That is something that I don't understand, if I'm seeing something wrong or key value. The value is always none, but the parent is valid. Probably the parent, wait a second, maybe the parent is because it's a complex object. Ah, because the value is a double and the parent is the environment. Yes, but in theory the value I'm a bit confused because obviously the double can only be used if you have a numerical value, right? So what I'm thinking is that in this case we are actually pointing to an object. We are not pointing to a value. So maybe the math script is not using this one, but is using this one, because it is the container for our variable. You see that there is a set value and there is a set object. So if I do set object, right? What is it doing? But you see, setting, when we do set object, is still setting the value as the get value of the parent P. Initialize the ID converter. Set the object mask. This is exactly the thing that we debugged a few months ago, where we had the problem of the get item 0, which was not working, and I went to the old code and it was not working as well. But But it seems that the delay is not calculated properly. I don't know why. Do you think it's only in this case it is not calculating it properly, or is in all the cases? Because value here is always none. Math environment lookup. You know what I can do? Maybe I can check what is doing. Yeah, let me do this. I have an idea. Let me check what this guy is doing. When he's adding the variable, okay? Because I want to understand if there is a problem here or what. Because I want to understand what is going on when we are calling the define. Like, for example, in this case, the define is simple. The value is just 10. So the define should be super simple. Should get the name, which is attack ID, is getting a variable where the value is 0 and the parent is whatever, and then he's setting the value. So he's doing value equal to v, and in this case, yes, my value will be 10, right? Super easy. Now the problem is here, because here I have an object. I don't have any more value, so let me see what this thing is doing, right? So in this case, it's getting the variable name attacker, and this variable at the moment has 0 in the value, and then he has a parent, okay, and here is calling set object, right? And set object as my my character, the Stonebreaker character. So it's going on the parent. It's going on the parent, and the parent actually has 4 variables. One of which is attacker. And he's trying to get this value. And this one is returning none though. I think we have a problem. I think we have a problem here in the define, boys. I think we have a problem here. Because it doesn't seem to be working as expected. Here we are searching the Stonebreaker character. We initialize the converter ID. Okay. We set the object mask to be the default. Okay. We initialize the part we want to use. Okay. We obtain an ID and set it as the value. So scriptable registry contains my Stonebreaker, you see? It's checking if the scriptable registry is containing my variable. And if it's already present, retrieve the ID, right? So he's trying to find... Hello, Roiku. Hi. Good evening. Making excellent progress. Yes, I think we did a good progress in the last few days. So we are working on attacks and special attacks. And we had some of that working, but now we are a bit into a complex problem. ID value, unsigned int, scriptable registry, find the P. So I want to see what happens to this value when I it didn't change. So the ID value is 1, the mask is 32.7 whatever, which is probably this. I have the feeling, boys, that this thing is not working. It's super strange though, because if this is not working... Okay, let me do something simple. Okay, let me do something simple. Let me do something very simple. Because I think we have a big issue here. Let me do something very simple. Let's take the side slash, this one, right? And in the delay, instead of this calculation, we will say equal to 3, okay? As simple as that. So this will be a number. And I want to see if with a number it works. And I think it will work, okay? So I think with a number we will not have a problem. But it's just to go, you know, it's just to exclude other issues. So I think that this one will, when we arrive inside, I think we'll be inside attack. Right? So here we need to break point here. So if I press our side slash, right? Now the delay is 3. You see? The delay is 3. So in this case, the attack will schedule and everything will work and everyone will be happy and GG. You attack the fighter but miss the legs. Okay? So here we have a problem that this script, if this script is slightly more complex, is not working at all. So let me see if I use, instead of 3, attack weapon latency. Let me use only attack weapon latency, okay, and see what happens. Attack weapon latency. Or attacker attack speed mod. Let me try to do this. Let me do attack latency plus attacker speed mode. So we see if something is not 0, because the multiplication obviously is putting everything to 0. But this, the plus will not, the addition will not. But I have the feeling that here we have a problem of the porting from the old to the new code. I think there is something that is fucked up. Because those values always at none are not really normal. Are not really normal. Okay. So always side slash. And we check now what is the delay. The delay is 4. Holy shit. The delay is 4? So it means that one of those two variables is working. Or the weapon latency or the attacker speed mod. One of these two is returning something. Okay. Let me try the attacker. The attacker should be the easiest, so it should be probably the one that works. Probably. But I think that for the... I don't know, it's strange. I'm surprised he returned 4. I'm very surprised. But okay, so it means that it's not so broken. I was thinking it was really, really broken. But probably it's not, because anyway, the lookup is working. The lookup is working. Interesting. What happened? I need to have this guy in front of me. Okay. This is the 4. So it means that the attack, as I was thinking, the attacker is valid, but the weapon latency is not. This attack weapon latency is actually 0. Why the attack weapon latency of the broadsword is 0? Makes very little sense, but we can look at it. So it looks like the broadsword has a speed factor of 0. Or we cannot extract it. And the weapon speed is 4. It's kind of interesting that it's 4. Because the number we were getting was 4, but... okay. So attacker speed mode... Attack weapon latency, but we have the attack weapon latency, eh? So when we go through this code and we are analyzing the weapon latency, we have it inside PS item. So PS item should have, if I search, there it is, latency, get latency. So actually, I think if I put a breakpoint here, and I actually, no, because now I can use the other one, lunge. I can use lunge. Yeah, you see, it's trying to get the latency. And latency, get latency. If he has item modifiers, if not, just get current stats, weapon. Oh my god, it's so complex, boys. Our code is insane. Weapon stats, yes. And latency is 4, boys. Is 4. Is 4. is 4. In fact, values of 2 is 4 as well. Okay. Okay. And the delay now is 4. No, I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm confused now. So it seems that the weapon latency and the attacker attack speed mod are both the same and they are both 4. But for some reason, when he's executing this wall formula, this goes to 0. While when I'm executing a single element, it's not going to 0. Which is super strange. But one plus the other. No, let me wait. Let me do this. Parapam. Anyway, one of those two values is 0 because it goes to 0 when we multiply. So attacker, we saw there was 4. Now I'm trying the other one solo. I don't know if he's trying to use both hands, and so he's getting the other weapon, which is just the fist. Yes, exactly. How 4 plus 4 is equal to 4. This is kind of weird, huh? Okay, but now we are trying the other value. But it means you are really following, Marcelo, huh? You're really following step by step. I mean, now you are following. Otherwise, you would never be able to say that 4 plus 4 equals 4. Because it's exactly what is happening. So I click on this. Now we're using the other value. Right? We're using the other value. Okay, we have this calculation, we don't care. And the delay is 4. Holy fuck. Come on. Why is it executed twice though? You see that it's going through again? Why is it going through again? Ah, because it's fighter 3. The second time is the enemy that is trying to attack me. Okay, but as you can see, you know, the first time we went through with number 4 and it actually worked, right? So he actually executed the thing. And then the enemy is trying to attack me. But yeah, now my client went to GG. So, but fuck. That's another problem, huh? We have a problem on disconnection and reconnect. When you disconnect and reconnect, the monster is confused of who are you, if you are the previous one or the new one, and we get an error on the server. But that's completely another problem. I think both variables are pointing to exactly to the same thing, and but it's so strange. Did I do it on the right one? Ah, fuck. Now that I didn't do it on the right one, boys. Ah no, yes, I did it. Attack weapon latency. No, I did it. I set it on both. I mean, it was not required, but I set it on both. So how can attack weapon latency multiplied by attacker weapon speed mode be 0? Right? Is there some fuck up in the parsing so that you cannot really parse that string? Maybe there is some fuck up in the script parsing, but let me try now. Let me put a breakpoint directly here so we immediately see the delay. A multiplied by 2 plus b multiplied by 3. Yeah, just to see. But I think the both values, by the way, are 4 for real. But I want to see if this multiplication is 0 now. I don't know if I'm doing something stupid or what. Yeah, now it's 0. Now it's 0. So when I put this, I think there is some fuck up in the parsing of the multiplication, or maybe it's not able to parse this piece. Let me do something. Let me put this weapon speed at 2. Okay. So that we have a different number than 4. And it is the broadsword. Okay. And let me do again this plus this. I think there is some fuck up with the multiplication parsing. So he's trying to multiply and he's fucking up, I think, in the script. Really, the way he's reading the script. Like, he doesn't get the second parameter right in the stack, and that would be very bad though, because it means that a lot of our script would be broken. It looks like the parsing of the script itself, when there is a multiplication, doesn't work. It looks like something like that. How tall I can do something stupid? It's very easy. It's very easy. Four plus 4 equal 4 anyway. Not in this universe. Maybe in the Draken plane. The Draken plane, 4 plus 4 can be 4, but in our world, no. In our world, impossible. You see the delays too. So I think we have an issue in parsing the script. I think we have an issue in parsing the script, boys. Believe it or not. We have a problem when we do the multiplication. I think whatever numbers I put... Let me try... Let me try this. Because I think we have an issue here. I don't know exactly if it's related to variables or... No, let me try something else first. Let me try something as stupid as this. Without the space, but I think without the space, I don't know if you can do it. But I think there is some fuck up in the parsing. I think one of the two is a 0 at this point, and or not. Or we have a fuck up in the parsing in general, like that when we... Maybe when we have the space. Maybe when we have the space. Let's see what we get now. If we get a number or if we get 0. If now we get a number, means that is the space. And we found the solution, then we found the reason. If we still get 0, we still get 0. So we still get 0. We still get 0. So it's like if this field is not read properly. It's like if that formula is not read properly. Let me try a 3 by 4 just for fun. Just for fun. Because it seems that the single variables are actually working. But it's more the parsing of the script that is fucked up. Interesting bug. Interesting bug, but it's a bug for the porting, eh? Is still the porting problem. I think. I was really hoping on the space, but the space didn't do it. So now we have a pure number, 3 multiplied by 4. Right? We have a pure number. And the result is 12. So a pure number actually works. It's kind of funny though. Okay, so let's do latency multiplied by 2. Latency multiplied by 2. I don't understand the problem here, but I'm more and more confused as I continue into this. I think I should write down the thingies, otherwise we will forget. If you do too many tests, usually what happens is you forget the previous test, and then you have to go back and do them again. It happened to me like 1 million times. When you start to do many tests. So the only test that we really know is the 3 multiplied by 4, which is actually 12, and it actually worked properly. Now we are trying attack weapon latency multiplied by 2. and we see what the hell we get. There is a multiplication with one variable. It seems that he's not able to manage two variables in that script for whatever reason. And the result is 4. Which I think is correct. Well, I did by 2. I could choose any other number, but we put the number 2 right in the latency. So 2 by 2 is 4.
The objective is find the root of the problem, work to get close to it, and then eradicate it.
Exactly. So let me multiply it by something else. Okay, let me multiply it by 3, for example. So now we are doing attacker attack speed mod multiplied by 3. But there is definitely some fuck up in the script parsing, I think. I cannot be connected. The server went down. Okay. It takes a bit to realize that the server went down. It takes a bit. Let's go, Melare. We can do it, Melare. Go. Go, Melare, go. Boom. Boom. 0. Okay. So it seems to be that this one multiplied by anything goes to 0. Now let's try this one alone again. Wait a second, wait a second. We have the round, eh? Let's not fuck up on the round. Let's not fuck up on the round. Because if for any reason this one is... what is the round doing exactly? Is the round... because like imagine that our value is 0.5. And by the way, why we are doing round? Because if our value is 0.5, it will go to 0, eh? I don't understand why we do round. Were we doing round? Were we doing round in the old one as well? I think in the old one we were doing round because we were using milliseconds. And so using milliseconds, I think we really didn't care about the decimals of milliseconds. But now we are using... no, we are dividing by 1000 anyway. So we are using milliseconds as well. So we assume that... okay, so it should not... so the round should not be the problem. Because we are using milliseconds. Okay. Let me put attacker speed mod alone. And before, when we did this, the result was 4, eh? Maybe I didn't save, I don't know, maybe I did something stupid, but when we did it before, this was, the result was 4, unless I didn't save something, clicked on something else, messed up something. Now in theory the result should be 2, I think, because we changed the weapon factor, but... now, if this one is 0, then it's perfect. The problem is that before, this one was not 0. So now we are testing this alone. Anyway, always do this, okay? Always do this when you're doing tests like that, because otherwise you think you remember, but since you do many changes and all the variables have the same similar names and so you just think you did it and then you're doing something else. Okay, now it's 0. Ah, okay. So yes, I did a mistake before. So actually, it seems that this one is a 0. Okay, which is very good because it means that our script at least is working. The problem is why is 0. Attacker attack speed mod. Why attacker attack speed mod should be 0? Well, we can see it, I think from here. Okay. Maybe we don't have a stance. I'm starting to feel the problem. Maybe we don't have a stance. Stance ID 0. What is stance ID 0? Everything is 0 here. Yeah. I think we don't have... okay. Okay, in the old game we were using stances. Stances was like defensive, full defensive, berserker, and such. Now, in the new game we are not using stances anymore. And... but, in theory, you know... is he trying to understand the stance of me or the stance of the target? It is the stance of me because he's attacker attack speed mode, right? So it's my stance. So it's basically saying that at that point of the code we don't have a stance set, right? So at this point of the code, stance, set stance, normal. At this point of the code, we don't have a stance assigned. Actually, there was a place where we are setting the stance, and is here, I think, right? If attacker get mode equal to combat mode. Because I think he was assuming that we were in combat mode already. Ah, we are. Okay. If we are, then we are setting this. Switch stance, right? Maybe this one is not doing it. Sanity check. If not. Okay. Change the stance if new for a new player. Stance. Stance ID 0. Everything is fucking 0 though. No, this stance is fucked up, boys. No. We have a problem. Wait. We have a problem. This stance is fucked up. It's all 0. This one. Fuck. Wait a second. Now I lost it. Okay, let me do it again. I think we have a problem on the stance that is not set properly when we attack. When we do special attacks. Yeah, we're on the good track. We're on the good track. So that's the problem, 100%. Just need to understand why. Okay, you see, this stance is stance ID number 3. And he has values everywhere. So why this stance, then when I... Ah, fuck. Client get combat stance. Yes. My god, my god, my god. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, yes, for now there is another way than doing this. We need to... Okay. We need to use the default stance for now. And if in the future we will ever implement stances again, then we are gonna change it here. But for now, I was not using this stance. I was asking to the client which was the stance, and at the moment we didn't have anyone, and so this is why I was fucking up. So the only thing that is a bit weird is that we are already in combat mode. That I don't understand exactly how is possible. But okay. Or maybe because it was the second attack that we did. Because I clicked, you know, 2 times in the same debug session, so maybe it was the second attack. That's possible. But anyway, we were passing the wrong stance. And so that value was always going to 0. Which is something that should never happen. In theory, our character should never have a wrong stance. Should always have a good stance while in combat. Which, I mean, we should probably remove the default with 0000. But at least we understood why. At least he allowed us to understand why that was happening. Fuck, the delay is 0 anyway. The delay is 0 anyway. What? Okay. Probably because now we are not in combat mode. Because this stance is normal now, eh? So... And this stance is normal now. And so the value is 1. And the delay now is 1. So yes, it's the second time, because the second time I am in combat mode. So we have 2 problems. One, so the first problem is about the stance. The second problem is about the combat mode. Okay, so the stance, I think we fixed it. But the combat stance we didn't yet. So the opposite, sorry. The stance we fixed, but the combat mode we didn't. So I think that the first time we ran through this, I think we are not in combat mode, and because this is relying all on the old logic. That's the problem, right? So is relying on the fact that combat mode was issued with the first slash attack. The first slash attack command, and then from the first slash attack command you were going into a sequence of attacks, but it is not. So the first time will fail, the second not. So let's follow the first time. So the first time the stance is anyway correct, is ID number 3. So which is okay, but let's enter into this. I think the problem we have is down exactly here. So I think that here we will probably skip this one. Yes, exactly. You see, we will skip this one because we are not in combat mode. So how do we want to do it? I think the way we want to do it, we cannot do it inside of this because this is used also by NPC, and NPC should continue to work. We can do it when we actually issue the attack queue. So when we issue the attack queue, we must force the character to go in combat mode. Now the question is, if I do it here, right? Set the player to combat mode. If I do it here, am I fucking up something or not? Let me just check if this code is smart enough. Yes and no. Yes and no, because here is, you know, so it's sending the new mode switch for combat anyway. Because I don't want to broadcast the new mode to everyone if the mode is the same that I already, right? So I don't like this I don't like this if because this if is saying if the new mode is different than combat mode, right? So basically if the mode is combat mode, so if the current mode is combat mode and the new mode is still combat mode, it will not skip it, so it will go through. And I don't like the fact that it goes through, because this is sending a message to all the client saying that our character switched to combat mode, and basically this is gonna do it every time that you click on a special attack. Well, you should not do it. So, and he's doing it because of this, because he's assuming the combat messages need to be sent anyway, because the stance may have changed, but we don't care about this. But you know what I can do? I can just do the check here and fuck it. I can just do the same check here. So we can say if client get mode, right, is different than PS character combat. So if he's not already in combat, we move it in combat. So we just avoid that here, right? And I think it's okay. But I think it seems to be working anyway. I think with this change, it's gonna probably be fine. Let's see. But we were only missing the fact that we were in combat mode. Now I don't know exactly what happens with the attack. Okay, let me try. Because you know you can click on a special attack even if you are not in combat mode yet, right? And that should force you into combat mode. This is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so basically that line funny use of the word latency. Yeah, it's the latency of the weapon. I mean, you can call it speed factor or delay, but okay, so basically this thing had nothing to do with our problem, so we can, you know, reset the two variables to what they were and reset our item stats to 4 seconds instead of 2, and even if 4 seconds for a broadsword, GG. Let's leave it as 2. It's so slow for it. Anyway, this is dummy data. I mean, what do you do in 4 seconds? Okay, so if I click here, can I disable the breakpoint? Let me disable the breakpoints so we see what happens in the game. Okay, I disabled them all. So if I click here, it's working. Now my character now is in combat mode server side because we forced it. But we are not in this mode. But I think it's okay. I mean, it's not too much of a problem. I think that the player may decide if he wants the cursor or not the cursor. Now let me see what happens if I press 1. No, fuck, it was not 1, I guess. Maybe 3. Wow. That's powerful. Okay, so here I'm executing the special attack. And I did 272 damage. And I definitely killed this guy and the other guy. Sorry, man. It happens. Shit happens when you test. So basically it's working. I'm just waiting the thing to respawn, but basically I cannot left click. I can't. So now we can do special attacks, but we cannot do normal attacks because normal attacks is say that attack does not exist. That attack does not exist. I think it is only a small fuck up on when I it's a small fuck up here. Slash attack. Because we have all these modes, you know? We have slash attack. No, I deleted it? No, it's here, it's here. Because we have slash attack through, slash attack false. These are the stances, and these are the special attacks, right? So... so he has to work for all those cases. Let me check when I just click normally. What happens? Words count is actually 2, yes. So it's greater than 1. So I don't understand then. What? No. Wait. There is a fuck up here in the. There is a fuck up in the. What? What do you mean it's not equal to false? No, wait. Wait a second. Wait a second. I think now the server will crash. But we will go on the other guy, so maybe it will not crash. We will go on this guy. So, words is 2. What? Normal and true? Uh-oh. Okay, so when we... Okay. Normal true? Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. What we receive is different than what I was thinking. So what we receive is actually... why there is normal in it? Why there is normal in it? Because I added it myself. Here it is. Stands plus... Okay. That's even smarter, I guess. Okay. So... Oh my god, but this is changing the world logic. Fuck. So we are receiving normal plus we are receiving the stance plus a y. Yeah, these stances are annoying. These stances are annoying, but okay, because this means that we can change the stance. But okay, for now let's do it simple. Let's ignore the stance, okay? It's always normal at the moment. At the moment it's always normal, so let's ignore it a second. Because otherwise we make our life harder, right? And we should not. Or maybe I can make it correct. If I want to make it correct, wait, maybe we can make it really including the stance already. It should not be too hard because raise, lower, and get stance. Okay, so basically we assume that is always greater than 1. If it's not greater than 1, we just do a normal attack with the default stance. If it's greater than 1, which by the way should never happen, that is not, because we are always passing it. We are always, you see, here, we are always passing the stance and the primary weapon. So I mean, it's a fake check. This one we always go through. But anyway, so what we can say is that this one is correct, but this one is in addition to it. And our attack string is actually not the get tail, but is the... No. Wait. Yeah, let's leave get tail there, which is simpler. But here we will do... word gets of 1. So if the word get 1 is raised, or the word is lower, or if we can find the stance into that, come on, if you can find the stance into that name, so exactly. Now, the only problem of this logic is that if someone is typing /attack and then some garbage, you will probably fall here and you will tell him that this is not a valid attack. Yes. Basically, in this way, we are detecting the primary or secondary weapon. We are detecting the stance, and if we cannot find the stance, then we assume there is a special attack. Okay, I think it makes sense to me, because this string, I think we should make an example. Okay, so this string is normal true, which means we are in normal stance and it's a primary weapon. Example of the string. Okay, I think it's fine, boys. I think that is the one. That is the one where everything will work. But Holy shit. What do you mean? The game module cannot be loaded? What the fuck you're saying? No, probably was just that okay. So I want to attack normally. Ah, fuck, the debug. The debug. Can I disable this 1 second? So that we see what happens. The attack does not exist. Okay. So it's not working. Why? So we got normal and true, right? So this one we I don't understand why here is not. Why is not setting the primary weapon to? Why is skipping it? I don't understand. Is the equals of the word not working? Is the get 0 based? Fuck, is 0 based. Shit. Okay. Is 0 based, boys. So this should be 1 and this should be 0 then. I didn't realize it was 0 based, but it is. Okay. What did I say? That one was the one that everything should be working. No, I meant this one. One programmer suggested not to nest logic. If not. Depends. Like here, for example, we want to do it like if, and then inside we have one nested. But yes, if you go 2 nested, I think there is something fucked up in your logic. I think you can move it up, but it really depends on the algorithm, you know? It really depends. But usually you can push up some of those conditions to, I mean, just for clarity, just for code clarity, just for keeping your code cleaner, let's say. Okay. Okay. We are testing it. I will redeem drum roll. Easy. Drum roll. Okay. So we try to slash this guy. Fuck, I forgot the breakpoint. We slashed him. Let me remove the breakpoint. So I want to slash this guy. And now I want to issue a special attack. Very nice. Now the only problem is that the special attack doesn't have a special animation. But now I want to right click. If I right click, you have no weapon equipped, you see? So if now I'm right clicking and it's basically saying that I have nothing in my left hand to do something. Now I should use the fist, but it's basically working. So if I press the number 3, it's doing that. If I press the number 3 like a crazy man, he's saying that the attack queue is currently full. Okay, so probably we are putting stuff in the queue, but maybe we are not removing it from the queue. Spichik. GG! Okay. Now, obviously the result is super simple. It's just a guy attacking and playing an attack animation, okay? And you say, what the fuck? Why is it so hard to do something so simple? Well, actually, because what we are doing, you know, in the background is way more than that. So we are not just swinging a sword, but we are doing 1.3 million calculations on the type of sword, the type of attack, the special attack, the armor of the enemy, the time of the weapon, the effects. We are doing million things. Okay, so that's good that this is working, boys. I think that tonight I have to finish a bit earlier, so I think I will finish here. But I think we made good progress. We fixed the annoying chat thingy, and we fixed the execution of the special attacks. Now, there is still one problem, though. There is still one problem, which is not super easy, which is when I issue a special attack, should it do it with the left hand or with the right hand? So we didn't solve this problem. Now I think that the best solution to this problem, the best solution for this problem is that we analyze which kind of weapon which kind of weapon we have that is compatible with the special attack that we want to issue. So for example, if we want to issue a shield rush, which that must be done with a shield, we can check if in the two hands that the player has there is a shield and issue the attack with that particular hand, right? So I think that it's not even that complex. I think that only for special attacks, so when we are here, right, what we have here, oh, by the way, I think we can now really delete this test code, which is not needed anymore, which is very nice. And we can just remove that. So we simplified also a bit the thing. But no, the point is, how do we tell? Yeah, but I know where to do it. Basically, we push the new attack. So we pushed the new special attack in the queue, which is here, right? And so we have one special attack in the queue. And by the way, I think we should pop it as well. At the moment, I don't know if we are ever popping it, but because the push is adding to the tail, right? But are we ever popping from the queue the actual attack or never? This is something that I think we are not doing. Are we popping back? This one first returns the first lot in the queue without removing it. Without removing it. Why we were doing without removing it? So someone else was then removing it from the queue in the old code, because at the moment I think we are not. No, I think we are. I think we are removing it from the queue, because otherwise it would go. If after 5 or whatever, it would be full, while it's not. So he's definitely removing it from the queue. He's just not removing it when I do the. Okay, understand. But actually, I think that here we can pop it all the time. Okay, so there are a few things to do. Let me write it down here so that we know the next steps. Okay, so the next steps are to check if we properly remove from the queue the special attacks, and in particular, I don't even know if we should. I think our queue should always be of 1. So we need a queue of 1. Is this thing true? That we always need a queue of 1? I think so, because now we are basically clicking. So I think we should always have a queue of 1. So we need to ensure that our queue is not actually a queue. So it's just Yeah, so we need to ensure this. Ensure a max queue of 1. This we should do it. Then the second thing we need to do, is to choose the proper hand when issuing a special attack. So for example, Shield Rush looks at both ends and selects the one with the shield. Okay, and so the code should do that. So it will be very easy for the player. So if you click on Shield Rush and you have your shield on the left, you will have to use the left hand, okay, to do the thing. If you have 2 weapons, now the problem is with 2 weapons. If you have 2 weapons and you select a sword special attack and you have 2 sword, 1 per hand, I think in that case you will just choose the primary, so the one in the right hand. right? By something like this. So because the special attack is not left or right mouse click, it's just a special attack. Yes, and this one is wrong. The fact that special attacks are always used in the right hand, we should not do it. And this one is the solution that I'm saying down below. So yeah, basically this text was just a bit of a reasoning. Oops. This text was a bit of just a reasoning, so we don't care about it. We care about this one. So this is what we need to do. Okay, so these are our next steps. Okay, boys? I think we're making good progress, not very fast because these days, like yesterday, I was busy. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I will be busy again because we are... I'm meeting with my friends and we are role playing Cyberpunk 2020. Believe it or not, Cyberpunk, the original Cyberpunk, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the original Cyberpunk was written in a book, this one, which was a futuristic setting where the year was 2020. And it is because this book has been written in the 80s, right? So it was like 40 years away, and the author said, well, we will never reach 2020 or whatever. It's very, very far away, right? But now 2020 is in the past. And so that's also why they couldn't call the